Any member of this family that enters the professional wrestling business knows the prestige that their very name carries. They know that those who came before them have accomplished so much. Bearing the weight of those legacies can prove to be way too much for almost anyone. But that was never the case for Jimmy and Jey Uso. Jimmy and Jey Uso looked to be stars from the very start, constantly evolving their look, style, and offense as they progressed in their careers. Face paint and war dances would fade away, and the two would embrace the day one-ish mentality, looking to punish opponents and send them to the Uso penitentiary. The Usos are 8-time WWE Tag Team Champions. The Usos have main evented WrestleMania after initially fighting for a mere spot on the card. The Usos were the premier team of the 2010s. The Usos are the greatest team of all time. Jimmy and Jey are poetry in motion, each knowing what the other is looking to do next, each using every bit of savvy they gained growing up in professional wrestling to keep their edge. And sure, in recent years, it's been difficult between the two. Jimmy did cost Jey his match at SummerSlam against your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. After months of the anger building between the two, Jimmy and Jey ended up as the first two entrants in the 2024 Royal Rumble match, bringing things to a head. But even that moment wasn't enough to settle the issue, and so they would fight again at WrestleMania 40. Jey Uso truly became main event and found his inner yeet, even adding another tag team championship with Cody Rhodes as his partner. As your wise man eventually would suffer as well, Jimmy found himself betrayed by Solo Sikoa and unceremoniously dumped out of Solo's version of the Bloodline. When Jimmy and Jey are a tag team, they are pure art. They are the reason for the resurgence of tag team wrestling's popularity over the last 15 years. And perhaps, oh, perhaps, their grandest moment came during the 2017 Hell in a Cell, when they would lock horns with perhaps their greatest opposition ever, The New Day. From July to October of that year, the SmackDown Tag Team titles would change hands 4 times between the two teams, both looking for ultimate bragging rights. The Usos' connection as twins always gave them an upper hand with most teams. But the New Day had their own trick, utilizing the Freebird rule to allow any 2 of the 3 members to compete in any match. Jimmy and Jey could never know for sure who the opponents would be, with a different game plan needed for each iteration. With nothing clearly settled after 4 months, the New Day would offer to defend inside Hell in a Cell, and the Usos gladly accepted. We've seen the Usos showcase tag team wrestling at its most beautiful. Now we want you to showcase the brutality that exists within Hell in a Cell. Big E and Xavier Woods are going to use everything at their disposal to take you down. But you've been down since day one. Now it's time to force the New Day to realize there's nothing wrong with them being in second place, and there's nothing that's stopping you inside Hell in a Cell.
Are you prepared to kick off Hell in a Cell with the 4-time Tag Team Champions?
The following contest is a tag team Hell in a Cell match and is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship and accompanied by Kofi Kingston at a combined weight of 490 pounds. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Xavier Woods and Big E, the
Well, I can't say that I'm ever prepared for a man swiveling his hips and playing the trombone on the way to the biggest fight of his life.
This is our first Hell in a Cell match of the night. The New Day actually requested this match to defend their tag titles.
Who would have thought 4 months ago when this rivalry began that it would end once and for all inside Hell in a Cell?
New Day about to make it evident that the time for fun and games is over. This is the first time that tag titles will ever be defended inside Hell in a Cell.
And at a combined weight of 493 pounds, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos!
Tonight in Detroit, the Usos welcoming New Day into the penitentiary. This is going to be like a...
In every sport, you hear about super teams. Well, tonight, we're seeing 2 super teams of the modern era. This is going to be special.
Tornado tag rules here, gentlemen. 2-on-2 as Kofi is going to be locked outside the structure. Pinfall or submission needs to happen in the ring, but we all know this fight's going to go everywhere before that happens. Matchups like these are why I love tag team wrestling. The cell door is locked. First of 2 Hell in a Cell matches tonight in Detroit. This is the 20th anniversary of this barbaric match. The Usos and the New Day must be prepared for pain, punishment.
2 of the greatest tag teams ever. One of the best rivalries going today. It all comes to a head right now for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
New Day refer to this as their power lineup when having Big E involved in there with Xavier Woods.
Big E, the obvious powerhouse of the group. Woods has that blend of speed and power, making him the most well-rounded superstar for New Day. What's interesting, though, is this is the lineup that lost to the Usos at SummerSlam. The New Day not choosing Big E and Kofi to beat the Usos a few weeks ago could prove to be costly.
Oh, my God, a steel chair!
This cell is meant to contain all these superstars, but that's not to say this cell can't inflict unimaginable damage on those who step inside. We are going to see these teams tap into their barbaric nature.
20 years of Hell in a Cell, and this structure still surprises me with the ways it can torture every part of your anatomy.
I have a feeling the Usos' objective is to send the New Day to the hospital.
Well, 2 teams so familiar with each other, some innovation with weapons almost becomes a necessity. Over the top.
High cross body.
Hit that with everything and following it with the pin.
You have to think this match is starting to take its toll.
Just like that, sent out of the ring. Oh, what an uppercut. Out of the ring, still surrounded by the Hell That is the steel structure. Pow!
Heading back to the ring.
Headed out to ringside now. What does he have planned?
Oh, man. Ooh. Trying to find his feet. This does not look good for him.
Champ left ripping a little by that last blow.
And seeing that you're surrounded by the steel cell can't be adding any comfort. That's scary. Look at his eyes. Fixated on the opposition. Ooh, went to the throat.
Corey, a few weeks ago, we saw the New Day walk out of SmackDown as champs in a street fight. A match the Usos handpicked, but this environment is totally different.
There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They're perfectly equipped to turn Hell in a Cell into the Uso Penitentiary.
Oh, jeez.
Take all the wind out of you.
Snapping the neck. Something bad is...
Time shot.
Oh, this could be over.
2. Wards off the pin at 2.
So close. That could have been it. Ooh.
The Usos following the footsteps of many great family tag teams, the Steiner brothers, the Head Shrinkers, who, of course, Jay and Jimmy's own father was a member of.
Would be a very proud moment for the Anoa'i family if the Usos can capture their 5th tag team championship here.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree for Jay and Jimmy. Just a factory of elite specimens come from the Anoa'i blood.
The champ struggling to fight back.
Yeah, he's absolutely in danger of losing it all here.
Roll up here. And a kick out at only 1.
Refusing to give up even an inch of ground as this match continues.
And slides back into the ring. The Usos and the New Day have had such a back-and-forth competition within the tag team division. You can just look at these teams' title reigns, their dominance.
It tells you these are the 2 best teams that WWE has had in a long time. And while I do believe there's an underlying mutual respect, we won't be seeing it tonight because these are 2 very proud teams who feel incomplete without the championships around their waist.
Lands an elbow.
Going for the pin. Title on the line. Close call makes the champ nervous.
Somehow, some way, he is still in this.
Manages to reverse it. Ooh.
Boom.
Super kick. Champ's down. This one's for everything. And the Usos are 5-time tag team champions.
Here are your winners, Jimmy and Jay, the
Hell in a Cell just became the Uso Penitentiary.
It was barbaric. It was volatile.
It lived up to the hype is what it did. The 2 greatest tag teams in the entire industry, raising the bar of competition inside the demonic structure.
Next on our showcase is someone who wasn't born into this family, but has put in the time and more than earned her spot. She's always happy to leave haters in the rear view, and when she enters the room, you will undoubtedly feel the glow. Of course, I'm talking about Naomi, who many of you may know has reigned as Jimmy Uso's wife and queen for over 10 years. There's the old saying that behind every good man is an even better woman, and this could not ring more true than Naomi, who I will say is an absolute treasure. Jimmy will frequently speak during old bloodline planning sessions about how much her support and love drove him to improve as a superstar, always stressing her importance not only to the WWE Women's Division, but to his career and his life as well. In the ring, there is no denying Naomi's skills. The former women's tag team and two-time SmackDown women's champion has the mental tenacity to push through the toughest part of any match and possesses breathtaking physical skills. Naomi uses her dancing background to constantly innovate with her offense, resulting in some of the most beautiful moves you will ever see, unless you're on the receiving end of them. Naomi is an inspiration to so many of our younger members of the WWE Universe, showing a new generation that anything is possible if you just put in the work and never stop believing in yourself. Naomi has battled against the very best in the women's division, taking on foes like Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Shayna Baszler, and Io Sky.
My favorite moment of Naomi was when she won the title in her hometown, Orlando, at WrestleMania.
To compete against that caliber and maintain the level of success that Naomi has for her entire WWE career is something worth, shall I dare say, acknowledging. Naomi has even teamed with fellow family member Tamina through the years, proving the family you choose can often be the most important. And in true Uso fashion, Naomi shows an unrelenting desire to win, to achieve greatness, and to dominate her opposition. Many mistake her smile as a sign of kindness, but they quickly realize their mistake as Naomi unleashes a flurry of kicks, flies at them with moonsaults from all angles, and then ties them up in knots. Naomi is having fun, but Naomi is never playing. And now, we take you back to the 2020 edition of Super Showdown, which saw Naomi challenge Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Unfortunately, a ridiculously lax referee decided it was just fine for Bayley to basically do whatever the hell she wanted.
Bayley, oh my gosh, she's trapping Naomi's legs in her shirt.
And Naomi wound up suffering an embarrassing loss after Bayley used wardrobe to her advantage. Well, Bayley, we can pretty much guarantee that trick won't work again. This is your chance to help guide Naomi to a third SmackDown Women's Championship, and to do it by defeating one of the greatest competitors WWE has ever seen. Your wise man has nothing but respect and admiration for Bayley's abilities, but those abilities are eclipsed by Naomi's extraordinary trinity: smarts, strength, and aerial attacks that should give all of you everything you need to get the win and the title.
Gentlemen, it's glow time!
I got an idea, Saxton. Why don't you glow home?
No, I cannot, Corey.
When asked earlier this week about this matchup, championship will be defended in Saudi Arabia.
Naomi certainly has momentum on her side, and as we've seen in recent weeks, it appears as though Bayley has at least a healthy respect for Naomi.
Well, so much of Naomi's career has been predicated on making history. You think back to Naomi being the winner of the inaugural WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, being the first African-American SmackDown Women's Champion, and tonight, once again, an opportunity to make history in her career.
And gentlemen, when Bayley was asked about this history-making match tonight, she said, of course I'm part of this, because history is made by winners. And I'm going to become a role model for everyone here tonight in Saudi Arabia and for everyone around the entire world.
I asked Bayley her thoughts on this match, and she said, new country, same sheep. Bayley is nothing if not confident headed into this match.
Oh, and everything you just said is indicative of the new attitude, the new personality of Bayley.
Bayley has been SmackDown Women's Champion for a record-setting 279 days. She's won every title available in WWE. The NXT Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Championship, the two-time SmackDown Women's Champion, a Tag Team Champion, a Money in the Bank winner. Bayley's accomplished it all. But the one thing Bayley has never done in her career, she's never beat Naomi.
And believe me, that is a huge point of confidence for Naomi and a huge pressure on the champion.
What an exciting moment for both of these competitors tonight, but once the bell rings, it's down to business. The SmackDown Women's Championship is on the line.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Introducing the challenger from Orlando, Florida, Naomi. And her opponent from San Jose, California, she is the SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley!
For the first time ever, we have a Women's Championship match here in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia. Bayley against Naomi. Will Bayley's record-setting reign end here tonight? Guys, a very important component of this match. Bayley has won every title available in WWE. Bayley has accomplished it all. But the one thing Bayley has never done in her career, she's never beaten Naomi.
And believe me, that is a huge point of confidence for Naomi and a huge pressure on Bayley.
Yeah, but Bayley thrives under pressure. Her resume speaks for itself. Her moment could be at hand. She's ready to attack.
Whoa, what a flying forearm smash! Naomi has tested her mettle in recent weeks, as the road to this championship opportunity was a difficult one. Needed to defeat former SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella. We know Naomi has a heavy desire to become a three-time Women's Champion.
Other superstars say they want the title. Naomi has said she needs her title back.
One more time!
Uh-oh!
Tornado DDT! Bayley showing no answer for the attack.
Naomi picking up the pace against Bayley and keep...
Oh, brace for this impact!
Like a guillotine.
She's struggling to get back up, but she's about to feel so much worse. And she's sent right into that corner.
Look at that counter from Bayley. And Naomi has been quick to take to social media lately, reminding everybody that Bayley has never beaten her one-on-one.
Yeah, not so subtle reminder to Bayley, who has been very insulting, very humiliating to a lot of people in WWE.
And that attitude is why Naomi wants to dethrone Bayley, take the SmackDown Women's Championship away from her, and maybe humble Bayley a little bit.
We know that Naomi's going to want to pick up the pace in this match, but Bayley's going to look to wear Naomi down.
Yeah, Bayley's going to want to slow down the pace and let the adrenaline wear off for Naomi. Bayley can also turn up the aggression here in a way I'm not quite sure Naomi can match. From the top.
Oh, boom. That puts her.
Here we go. Oh, God.
Momentum is really on Naomi's side.
And Naomi continues to somehow have Bayley's number here.
she's tossed right out of the ring.
Go.
Oh, God. Terrible landing on the outside.
That didn't look good at all. A ringside doctor's on hand if needed. Shows great wherewithal there.
We've said it time and time again. Naomi, maybe the most athletic woman we've ever seen compete here.
Blast off. What? That's going to be on highlight reels for a long time.
Incredible courage to even attempt that.
Naomi going for broke. And this high-risk offense from the challenger might be catching the champion by surprise.
The challenger being the aggressor here, but remember, the title can only be won by pinfall or submission inside the ring.
Stops the kick. Less and less time remaining on the count. And Bayley never saw that coming. And that goes to show you what Bayley thinks of her opponent here.
On the apron.
And Naomi keeping Bayley on her toes, pushing the pace on the champion.
Naomi moving fast, showing that superior athleticism. Bayley might not be able to keep up here. Stunner! Emphatically delivered.
Naomi finds her target with that one. I don't think I've ever seen a champion feel as disrespected as Bayley has, Corey, because Bayley's talked a lot about how people think she's an afterthought as a champion. Everybody talks about Becky Lynch on Raw. They're now talking about Rhea Ripley in NXT. But Bayley has been the longest reigning champ in SmackDown history.
And you read off all the accolades, all the championships she has held. Yet for some reason, Bayley still finds herself overlooked.
Bayley is now under pressure.
Bayley's being cut off at every pass.
And now placed in the corner.
Sending her up on the top rope. And here we go. Championship's on the line. Naomi's got Bayley in trouble up on the top rope. This could be Naomi's moment.
Smart move by Bayley, protecting her title and going to the eyes.
Oh, what a kick. Bayley is down and in trouble.
Quick thinking by Naomi, looking to close this one out.
Nobody home. Bayley wisely moves out of harm's way. What's Bayley trying to do here?
What the?
I think Bayley's trying to trap Naomi's legs in Naomi's own shirt.
A great counter by Naomi. Naomi ducks underneath, and we got a standoff. Great match so far.
Well, Bayley thought she had Naomi, but the challenger was ready.
Well, the champion has to find a new strategy in a hurry.
And Bayley connected nicely there.
And she's tracking her opponent. Might be ready to put her away.
Elbow thrown, saying not today.
Clothesline.
Her legs are wobbling, but that's the least of her problems. Oh, rear view by Naomi.
Could that be enough to gain the title?
Here's the pin. Naomi did it. We have a new champion.
Here is your winner, and the new SmackDown Women's Champion, Naomi.
Bayley's stranglehold on the SmackDown Women's Championship has ended. The Glow era has begun.
Bayley was as aggressive in this match as she's ever been, but
Ladies and gentlemen, if it weren't for the next two superstars in our showcase, none of this would be possible. Because without Atha and Sika, without the Wild Samoans, there truly is no dynasty. While it was their father who made the blood oath with High Chief Peter Maivia, it was Atha and Sika who built the family up, training generations of relatives, all with the single goal of becoming the best professional wrestler on the face of the planet. And while the two would together be WWE Hall of Famers, based solely on their work as trainers and cultivators of the next generation, their in-ring successes only add to their immortality. Alpha and Sika formed WWE's most dominant tag team of the early 1980s, fighting their way to the WWE Tag Team Championship on 3 separate occasions. Opponents were often defeated before the bell even rang to start the match, falling victim to the aura and the intimidation factor of having to step into the ring with the Wild Samoans. Accompanied by Captain Lou Albano, the trio formed a masterful group that was able to take all opponents off their game, be it through Albano's devious schemes or the overpowering nature of the Wild Samoans. WWE had never dealt with a team so primal, turning each match into a battle of survival. Most feared, the deadly Samoan drop, a move that has been imitated by many, but duplicated only by a chosen few.
There they are, the Wild Samoans.
These are immigrants coming from the island, trying to figure it out, trying to find a way. I couldn't imagine being these men. I couldn't imagine taking on these responsibilities of setting the tone in a whole new country. And then trying to break into entertainment on top of that. But they made it work. And that's what we are. We're workers. We make it work.
These tribal elders set the standard for all of their descendants to not only follow, but they also taught their descendants how to surpass it. So beloved were the two that perhaps no moment holds more significance to your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, than when he was presented the Ula Fala by his father Sika and Uncle Afa after the 2020 Hell in a Cell event. You see, it was their acknowledgement that gave Roman Reigns the unshakable confidence to continue his journey to becoming the greatest of all time.
The utmost respect, love, and gratitude for those men. Because if my father and uncle don't do what they do, we're not here.
We now humbly present to you the honor of walking in the famed footsteps of the Wild Samoans, finding a tag team in WWE's long and storied history that we felt would test the Wild Samoans was not an easy task. But then a thought came to your wise man. Why not give the audience exactly what they want? Why not put the Wild Samoans against one of the greatest tag teams of all time? Why not present Afa, Sika, the Wild Samoans versus Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys? And if we're going to go that far, let's do it in a tables match. Showcase that savage brutality that made both teams the eternal legends we know them to be. No pinfalls, no submissions, no rules. Just be the team that avoids being put through the table, and you will emerge victorious. And with these 4 men, you better believe that things are going to get extreme.
And here they come. Bubba Ray and Devon are ready for a fight.
That's just what they'll get from Afonseca. And then some.
The following contest is a tag team tables match. And at a combined weight of 603 pounds, Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys.
It takes a strong brotherly bond to agree to go into battle against the Wild Samoans, but that's exactly what Bubba Ray and Devon have.
I have a strong feeling this match isn't going to be for the faint of heart.
Well, look, the Dudley Boys may not be all there in the head, but they're easily the most highly decorated tag team in pro wrestling history. They've beaten the best, they've beaten the toughest, and they're ready to come in and beat the wildest tonight.
Both the Dudley Boys and the Wild...
Who's more savage? Who's more extreme? Gentlemen, we are moments away from finding out the answer.
Guys, this is going to be a great one. You can feel the electricity already.
I feel the excitement and some fear, too.
Welcome by Captain Lou Albano at a combined weight of 645 pounds. Afonseca, the Wild Samoans.
This tables match might be a dream match for many, but for both the Wild Samoans and the Dudley Boys, this is about to be one team's greatest nightmare.
Afonseca clearly not looking to back down here.
The Dudleys can certainly handle their own, but they've never faced anyone or anything like the Wild Samoans.
Those mean looks on both Afa and Sika's faces, I'll tell you, they're out for blood. And the Dudleys are about to walk right into the Lion's Den.
Here's the bell, and it's the Wild Samoans, Afonseca, taking on Devon and Bubba Ray Dudley, the Dudley Boys.
Two sets of brothers, two sets of absolute madmen, ready to get the tables and get downright savage.
Bringing a new definition to the term sibling rivalry. This one will get extremely physical. Ooh.
And we can harp on how this match was something almost tailor-built by the Dudley Boys. With a famous series of TLC matches they've had, the Dudleys have become synonymous with the team, TLC.
And that didn't stand for tender, Cole. It means tables, and it means lots of them.
Yeah, and if Bubba Ray and Devon can get the Wild Samoans to the table tonight, it will really add to the Dudley Boys' legacy even further.
Now, these are obviously two juggernaut tag teams clashing, but this is also a match that clearly favors one team over the other. Be honest, Corey, do you think the Wild Samoans really have a chance in this one?
This is the Dudleys' wheelhouse, Cole. No team knows more about excelling in a tables match than Devon and Bubba Ray. The Wild Samoans have a lot of unbridled aggression working in their favor, but ultimately, they're up against the Masters.
And the Wild Samoans always have that gaze in their eyes that look that makes you question their understanding of their surroundings.
Yeah, I have to wonder if Afa and Sika are even aware of what the tables are for. I'm afraid they'll just keep on dishing out punishment, expecting a bell to eventually ring.
Oh, this, what a headbutt. Oh, my goodness, dribbling the opponent's head like a basketball.
And he comes in under the ropes now.
Oh, my, discus punch. Just an agitating thing to do.
And there is no other term for that than just cheap. A cheap shot. Corey, the Wild Samoans are about as tough and mean as they come, a very physical duo. And we've seen how they use their heads, almost like a concrete weapon.
Yeah, they don't need much flash. They're just a formidable ground and pound team. If they lack in offensive creativity, they make up for it in blunt force trauma. and nothing packs more.
Carried in a jeopardizing position here.
From the electric chair position, dropping bombs, trying to escape.
And he turned it around.
Oh, man. Has him in the corner, thinking of the next move.
He goes back into the ring here. Ava and Sika, both individuals that compete barefooted. Not something common of most wrestlers, Corey, but it is actually very customary in the Samoan wrestling heritage.
It's how they train. It's how they live in the Isle of Samoa. And no one delays a fight just to put some boots on. Samoans are ready for battle at the drop of a hat.
Connects! Saw it coming! Words on that offense from Bubba.
Oh, what a boot.
Oh, my goodness. And Alpha and Sika just beat the Dudley boys at their own game.
Here are your winners, Alpha and Sika, the Wild Samoans.
And it's the Wild Samoans standing tall, having beat the Dudley boys at their own game.
Devon and Bubba pushed Alpha and Sika to their limits, but in the end, there was only one way this match could end.